Bad news! Prince Harry received an urgent phone call from William. Camilla completely devastated. Prince Harry is rewriting parts of his much-awaited book after the events that took place around Queen Elizabeth II's death, as he fears he might come across as insensitive, a royal correspondent has claimed. The Duke of Sussex's memoir was due to be published this year, but after the monarch's death, it could be delayed until next year, according to previous reports. If she didn't need to. It's the law. Just like the late sovereign's mother, Queen Elizabeth, who chose to be called the Queen Mother after her daughter became the Queen, as she felt Dowager Queen was too old for her. Her grandmother, Queen Mary, and her great-grandmother, Queen Alexandra, were all queen consorts, the wives of reigning kings. Perhaps saying it meant that all those with their knickers in a knot over what they thought King Charles' wife's title should or shouldn't be would stop this nonsense about princess consort and so on. I just wish the Queen had also made it clear that although she would be the Queen consort, there was no legal or historical reason to hang the consort definer onto every mention of Queen Camilla. Everyone and their dog know the woman is not a queen regnant like the late Queen Elizabeth II was, but is the wife or consort of the king, the sovereign. There have only been 6 queen regnant in this nation: Mary I, Elizabeth I, Mary II, and Victoria and Elizabeth II. Every other queen since the days of William the Conqueror has been a queen consort to her husband, the reigning king. They are referred to as Queen insert name. I don't know if the persistent referral to the king's wife as Queen consort Camilla is done out of ignorance or a spiteful need to try and trivialize her position or belittle her status and rank. And there was never any question about the wife of the king being the queen. That's how it works. All Elizabeth II did was say, in essence, enough with the but Diana shit and move along. The king's wife is the queen because she is the king's consort. Get over it. Prince Charles will be the king the moment Her Majesty dies, long before the coronation, though he may choose a different regnal name. His wife will automatically become Queen Camilla at that point, whether she chooses to use the title or not. While it's true that she will be his consort, that is not part of any title. A king's authority to rule is automatic. His queen has no such authority. She does not need her nose rubbed in it. Camilla hasn't been Camilla Shand for a very long time. She's Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall. Secondly, as it's clear, she should have been able to marry Charles from the time they were in a relationship. I think the story has come full circle. For how long have they been married now? Does she know her place and has made Charles' life happy and settled? Absolutely. If Charles becomes king, she will continue to support him as she has done for years now. I have no problem with that. He doesn't have to. Camilla is the wife of a king, and women in that position are always titled queen. There was some discussion early on in the marriage, indicating that she would use the title princess consort when Charles became king, out of respect for public sentiment. She had already decided that she would be known as the Duchess of Cornwall rather than the Princess of Wales, for the same reason. But she and Charles have now been married longer than he was married to Diana. Camilla has been an excellent support and helper to Charles, and she undertook her role duties with enthusiasm. And Queen Elizabeth herself stated in a speech shortly before her death that she hoped Camilla would take her proper title when Charles came to the throne. The first announcements from Balmoral after the death of Her Majesty made reference to King Charles and Queen Camilla. So it's already done. Charles didn't have to do or say anything. He just had to not deviate from royal custom and tradition. Around the time of their marriage, it was stated that her intended future title as Queen Consort would be Princess Consort, similar to the way she is currently the Princess of Wales but uses the title of Duchess of Cornwall. My personal opinion is, as their popularity has increased and she has demonstrated loyal service to the crown over many years, the idea of Queen Camilla has gained more traction. Also, Charles will want his wife to be his queen, and understandably so. My guess is she will be queen, but whatever her title, I think she will do an excellent job and will be a great support for Charles. I don't understand the question at all. Prince William has no authority over his brother. The Queen does because she is head of the royal family and reigning monarch, and Prince Charles does because he has been financing Harry's lifestyle. I do believe that William had a more difficult childhood than Harry, though everyone expects Harry to be more affected because he was younger when Diana died. However, Diana confided in William all the trouble she had with his father. A young teenaged boy should not be his mother's confidant. William became Diana's soulmate as she had no one else to confide in. Even as 10 years old, he sweetly supported her. William brought Harry into his wild crowd and let him hang out with his own friends rather than telling the younger brother to get lost. William and Harry partied together as teenagers. There was nothing strict about that, given that Harry stayed for only 20-odd minutes after the unveiling and cleared off back to LA at 5 p.m. escorted by British security officers. Doesn't look great. It was odd that he looked happier than I have seen him since he left. But William looked very contained. He must find it hard to forgive the awful allegations made by his brother, especially in the so-called mental health rubbish, unless Harry fully accepts how offensive and ungrateful he has been and put his wife in her place. I fear there will never be trust.